Good morning, everybody. This is the planet Earth here. Hope you guys are having a good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're from. We got a little bit of a situation here, and we need to talk about. We have a big problem here in our country. I don't know if you're from the United States, Canada, Mexico, European-based countries. I do have a lot of viewers from European-based countries, which is surprising, over 20%. So we need to talk about why you need to be worried. The country is on a balance of a tread of going downwards. It's not going up. Democrats hate Republicans. Republicans are starting to now react to the some of the lawlessness that's been happening across the country. And the Republicans, they don't play games. I already know this because I've seen it. I have seen the gun stores here in San Antonio. They have bought almost all the guns. I've seen liberals buying guns. I've seen Democrats buying guns, progressive buying gun. Um, the gun stores are almost completely empty in San Antonio. I I have a bit of an issue with my suspension, and everybody was packing heat where I was getting the car fixed. I've never seen that before. Almost everybody's packing heat now. I mean, there's lines and lines waiting outside gun stores here in South Texas to buy guns. People are getting guns. They're getting ARs. I've seen people coming out of the stores with ARs, automatic rifles. I've seen them come out with Gruger or whatever the hell they call that pistol, the Gruger, or whatever the hell it's called, Rugger. I've seen Glocks. I've seen Magnums. I've seen just about every type of gun that you can imagine, other than a Gatling gun, I guess. So we got a problem here, and guys, this isn't a joke no more. Texans are prepared for civil war. And I'm concerned because I don't know how to react to this. You have on the left, the leftist extremists. You have them terrorizing neighborhoods that need not be terrorized. You also on the right have right extremists terrorizing other people. And so the Second Amendment is on a balance right now. If this continues to happen, it's going to get worse. It's going to get real bad. The end of the United States is around the corner, in my opinion. Based on everything that I've seen, I don't even talk about politics. But based on everything that I'm seeing, I would say most Americans don't want stuff to be torn up. But based on what I've seen in the last week, I am so concerned that I have literally not went to California. Do you know how much I like to go to California? I'm not going. I was literally on my way, and then I saw a story in New Mexico about a protester getting shot. And that protester was running away from the anti-protester, the protester that were trying to defend a statue, was running away from people, if you see the full video. And he pulls out his gun and shoots the person with a knife in their hand and ends their life. Or I don't know if they ended their life or he's a critic. I don't even know anymore. So, is anybody going to talk? Is anybody going to chat? Or am I just going to talk my head off and nobody's going to listen? See, that's the problem with Republicans. They're not doing nothing to stop this from happening. That's the problem with Republicans. Nobody's doing nothing. So now I got guns. I don't like guns that much, but I got them now. I'm scared as shit. I've never been this scared in my life. Like, this is a different type of stress. This is an anxiety. This is a fight or die. I'm armed up. I didn't want to, but I armed up. I really didn't want to. Because I like guns. I just don't like having them around. I don't know. I accidentally discharge on myself or something. I'm stupid like that. But the point I'm making is I took a gun safety education course. I went to a gun shooting range. I stayed there for at least 7 hours learning really everything about guns, automatic rifles, shotguns, pistols, and all in between. I learned how to shoot all different types of pistols, how to turn the safety on, safety off, um, and I got myself a few packing heat. So, but the thing that I'm trying to say is it's not about the guns. It's not about that. It's about the fact that if this continues, this downward power, spiral, what's going to happen to our country? What's going to happen to the freedom that people have if they keep censoring, if they keep destroying, if they keep breaking? If and the one thing that I've learned about Republicans and Democrats is on both parties, all they care about is fucking money. They don't care about people. They don't care about the people. Like, they don't care. Nobody seems to give a fuck about people. That's where I would come in. If I had the mental capacity and if I was physically, real fit, I would run for president, and I would kick this country's ass, and I would make it a great country no matter what I would take. Everybody would be treated fairly. Everybody would get their freedom of speech. And what YouTube has done in the last 5 years is terrible. What YouTube has done, what Google has done, what even not really Apple. I mean, they're just, I don't know. I don't hate Apple. I don't agree with some of the things that Google does. I don't agree with things that Susan Wojcicki does. I don't agree with her policies on YouTube.com. She's trying to make it a friendlier, safer place. Okay, fine. But you don't censor people in the United States. That's not what you do, Susan Wojcicki. You don't censor people. You don't take their right of speech away. You don't do that. You don't do that to people of the United States. Even if they have the most hateful intentions, you don't do that. Unless, of course, they're degrading people of color or people of other colors or people, of different countries. Yeah, okay, fine, take their video down. But if people are just having an opinion and they censor the opinion of those opinions, then that is considered communism, and it is considered censorship. It is considered the destruction of what is considered freedom of speech in the United States. But then YouTube likes to defend themselves as a platform. But they're a publisher. I mean, because if they didn't censor anybody, it would be considered just a platform. But unfortunately, they do. And they even censor Democrats and Republicans. Whatever YouTube's headquarters, the CEOs and stuff, whatever they view, they don't care. They don't give a fuck. They don't care as long as it's their views. It's their way or the highway. Let me say something. If any of these moderators on YouTube actually see this live stream, what they don't understand and what they don't seem to understand is that all these creators, all of these people that came to YouTube.com in 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, they created the platform. They made the platform. It was the people of the United States. It was the regular people of the United States that created YouTube, that made YouTube what it was, that made Google millions of dollars and billions of dollars when they bought it out. It was them that made the platform. It wasn't Google. Google was just a search engine. Now they run everything. Now they monopolize everything. They run everything. They run your cell phone. They run your computer. They run Google laptops. They run Android tablets practically. Google has become so powerful that they will literally destroy anybody that they don't agree with. That is concerning. Now, like I said, I have been thinking about this for years, but to the breaking point now, where Democrats that are angry and Republicans that are angry are going to start clashing with each other. They already started doing it, and they've died. Some people have actually physically been dead from these protests and the riots. And it's very concerning. I don't even want to go to California. I get too scared. I turn around. I literally was driving to California. I heard a story. I turned around. I was already like 200 miles out. I turned around. Why? Because of what's going on over there. And if you don't believe me, look at the statistics. But people from California are moving to San Antonio, Austin, San Marcos, Texas. They're moving to Kerrville. They're moving to Hondo. They're moving anywhere to South Central Texas. And they're moving quick. Dallas, Fort Worth are moving like bam. But mainly Austin, though. Californians are moving to Texas so fast that every time that I turn eastwards on Interstate 10, I see at least 4 or 5 California plates coming to Texas. But the amount of traffic that I've seen going from Texas to LA is almost non-existent except for 18-wheelers. I mean, there's barely any cars going to California. Barely. I mean, I drove literally like 800 miles on Interstate 10, and I saw just a few cars here and there, and none of them had California plates on them. I mean, I saw Arizona plates. That just shows you that people don't want to go to California no more. The California dream is dead. And once I got out of Texas and past Las Cruces, there was almost no cars heading westward. They were all heading east, but none heading west. I mean, there was a point where I think there was a 200-mile stretch where I was the only fucking car on Interstate 10. Do you know how when Interstate 20 and Interstate 10 collider, I think it's Interstate 20 or 4, I don't remember what it was. 20, I think it is. When they collide right there in West End, Texas, there was nobody coming from Dallas. Nobody was going to California. Nobody was going to New Mexico. Well, maybe New Mexico, but not. They weren't going to Arizona and they weren't going to California. Why is that? You explain to me why nobody's going to Cali. Explain to me why Texans are not really going to California like that anymore. Explain to me why people from Arizona and New Mexico are not driving in droves on Interstate 10 to California. Explain to me why there's nobody heading westward, but everybody's heading eastward. I've seen plates from Arizona heading eastward, and these are regular people. They have all their shit in the back. That means they're moving to either Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, or Georgia. They're moving. They're moving here to Texas. Most of them are moving to San Antonio or Austin. Good prices. That's the reason why they're coming. But I don't ever see people from Texas moving to California. I mean, 800 miles. Not 800 miles. I saw 2 cars. Well, there was a 200-mile stretch in West Texas where I was around, 10 a.m. on a weekday, and there was nothing but 18-wheelers. Just 18-wheelers driving. And now I went to a truck stop, 24 hours ago. I went to a truck stop, and the truckers are on strike. They don't want to go to California. They don't want to go to L.A. They don't want to go to, Atlanta. They don't want to go to L.A. They don't want to go to Atlanta. They don't want to go anywhere. They're not taking pickups to those cities anymore. Because they said about the defunding of the police. Seattle, defund the police. Truckers don't really want to go there if they don't have to. If they're independent truckers and they're owner-operator, they're not going over there. I've seen it for myself. I've asked. They're literally talking about that the second I go into Love's. The second I go into the Love's truck stop, bam! Nobody wants to go to Seattle, to Los Angeles, or to Atlanta, or some of the truckers say they're not going to go to New York. Not right now. They're protesting. They're striking. So that means there's less product going to those cities. So if truckers are striking and they're not wanting to go to those cities are not going to get food, water, everything. Just everything in general. Sure, they could probably still get deliveries, yeah. But I'm talking about, stock inside the shelves inside the stock or whatever, in stores. Demands people chat, then ignores the chat completely. And I've been watching the chat. What I'm saying is, it's not going to end well. This isn't going to end well. Texans are packing heat like I've never seen before. Literally, almost everybody here, right here where I'm at right now, has a gun. I seen an old woman in her 70s with a gun. She's got it right here. Since when do I see that? I never see that, even though I'm in Texas. Almost everybody's fucking packing heat now. Some are open carrying and some are concealed. When they're walking, I can see that they have their gun. You know, you can see it on the shirt. I mean, they didn't conceal it properly because I can see it, but they have it. Like, I've never seen that before. This has never happened before. I have never seen so many people carrying guns in the city of San Antonio. Never. That is interesting. I've never seen it before. It's never happened before. There's never been that many people with guns. I'd hate to be the protesters coming to San Antonio and try blowing this place up. Oh, that won't end well for them because, damn, almost everybody's fucking loaded over here now. It's getting bad. It's getting really bad, guys. It's getting really bad with the violence and the crime and the criminal and everything. And I have a bad feeling about Atlanta. I have a really bad feeling about Atlanta, guys. I don't like where this is going in Atlanta. I don't like where this is going in Atlanta, Georgia. Something bad's gonna happen there, and I have a bad feeling about it. I don't usually do, but with the way the prosecutor is charging the officer, there's gonna be a backlash to that. And this is the reason why the Atlanta police are saying, no, I'm not coming to work anymore. This is scary. This is scary. Because you're going to have people on the left and on the right fighting each other, and it's going to get bad. It's going to get bad. It's going to get real bad and real quick. If this doesn't stop and people go back to normal, if jobs don't come back, and if people don't have any money in their banks, this shit's going to get a lot worse, and this country is going to fail. Or it's going to turn into an authoritarianism type of country with communism. I mean, we already have the FBI, CIA, NSA tracking everything that we do. So that doesn't help. But if this continues, we're going to go on a downward spiral. It's going to go like that, like a downward on a roller coaster, but there's no up. The ride ends at the down. It doesn't go back up. The United States is going to fail as a country, and I promise you that it will. They're already censoring as much as possible. They're already getting away with it. And Republicans are not doing nothing about it. And the Democrats are not doing nothing about it. Because not all Democrats are into the censorship or, government control or, that kind of stuff. And a lot of Republicans are not. Look, I do have mental illness, but at the same time, I see when things are going bad. When you have lines waiting for hours to get a gun in the city, there's a problem. When you have truckers not wanting to go to certain cities because of defund the police movement, that's a problem. When you have people that are violently taking down statues, because listen, I agree what they're saying about the racism, and I agree what they're saying about taking down the statues to remove the people who were racist and with facts. But the problem with removing statues is, and let me explain this in a very clean, coherent way. Removing statues, remember, history has a tendency to repeat itself. And that has been the truth for at least, since the beginning of humans. If people don't recognize what happened in the past, history will repeat itself. If you live in a small town, I think you're going to be fine. If you live in a big city, I don't think you're going to be fine, especially if you live in a gun-toting city. It's like anywhere in Texas. See, and now they're threatening to attack the Alamo, the place. They're literally threatening to attack the Alamo in downtown San Antonio. They're literally trying to attack it. The problem with that is if the extremists do come down here and they try to attack the Alamo, all the gun-toting Republican Texans and even some liberal Democrats will come down there and defend it. especially if they don't like chaos. I hate to say this, but there's a saying in Texas that don't mess with Texas. Well, if you attack one of the most prominent buildings in history, the Alamo, shit's gonna hit the fan, and that's considered civil war when the police cannot stop these people from shooting each other and hurting each other. That's when shit hits the fan. Like I said, this shit is going to hit the fan if they try to attack the Alamo. I know that there's people out there that are crazy. They're real crazy, and they will shoot anybody that tries to attack that place. And there really is people out there. There really are people out there. There's people in a lot of small towns in Texas that won't put up with this kind of stuff. And there's also a lot of Democrats that won't put up with this stuff. Surprisingly, on both ends of the aisle, a lot of a lot of people don't want this to happen. You know, with the COVID-19 situation, the situation with no money, like I said, it's going to cause chaos in this country, and it's going to be really, really bad. It's going to get worse. If they find that cop in Atlanta, Georgia, if they find that cop innocent after they look in through and do their research, shit's going to hit the fan in Atlanta. They literally put the cop on death row. The guy had a taser gun in the heat of the moment, right? In the heat of the moment, the guy had a taser gun. He stole it from the cop and then pointed at them. I don't know what the cops were thinking, but they shot the guy. I mean, I don't think they should have shot the guy because, I mean, it was a taser gun, but cops are always on edge, so I don't know what the situation will be with that. Did the guy deserve to die? No. He was belligerent and drunk, so no, I don't think he deserved to die. But I don't know what's going to happen. If that charge is dropped, there's going to be mass violence again. But this time, there's a lot of Republicans in Georgia that are not going to put up with more damage to Atlanta. And shit's going to hit the fucking fan. This isn't a joke anymore. This isn't a game. This isn't a thing anymore. This is just going to hit the fan. In Seattle, they've taken over, what is it, six or seven blocks and made it into an autonomous zone. That is considered, what is that considered? Hostile takeover of U.S. property. It is considered not a militia, but it's considered a seizing of property, and it is completely illegal in the government. You're literally taking over a country's property, and that is highly illegal. But I'm not really worried about the Seattle thing because it's just, what can you do about it, right? Because the Democratic people, they don't care. And like I said, at the end of the day, they don't care about the people that are suffering, the people that have homes, the people that have businesses in that circle or in that zone area. They only care about money. They don't care about nothing else. It's all about money. Minnesota's another one. If they defund the police in Minnesota, shit's going to hit the fan. There's going to be a lot of violence, killings, murders, and rapes. And it's going to happen like... There's been an example. Look up Canada. When they tried to defund the police, there was a bank robbery within like 3 or 4 hours. Shit hit the fan like that, real quick. When they got rid of the police. Just in general, shit's going to hit the fan regardless if they defund the police or not. Shit is going to hit the fucking fan. All I can recommend that if you're in a small town, you should be good. Because I know that all your neighbors will have your back and stuff. If shit hits the fan. But in big cities, watch out. That's all I gotta say. Just be careful. Be mindful and be kind, no matter what. No matter what party. Always be kindful and be mind and be well, no matter what party you're in. This has to stop though. This country's better than this. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. All security will become privatized. Let it go. People of America has been gone since before we were born. You are being provoked. The goal is to erase the right to the point of warfare. The goal is a new right-wing Catholic political party in America. Don't fall for it. Don't touch mouth. My hands were just washed. He was polite and drunk. I totally agree. Feels like World War II again. We should make more statues. This is already a war. But listen, Republicans are pussies. They don't do nothing. Okay, they just sit there and they take everything that Democrats do, and Democrats, they don't defend their constitutional rights. Also, what I think the biggest the problem with the Democratic Party is when these children, right, these teenagers and children, they go to adults, they go to social studies, or like studying about different things that happen. Well, guess what? They learn about communism and dictatorship and Nazism, and they think that automatically everything that happens in the United States is related to Nazism, and it's the colleges that are ruining the teenagers' minds and young adults' minds. It's the colleges. It's the colleges. That's a big thing where it's coming from, is the colleges. They teach them that everything is a dictatorship, pretty much, and brainwash these people in the colleges and universities that everything is bad. Everything is bad. The United States is no longer the greatest country on the earth. It was, but not no more. If people can't get along with each other because of skin color, we're failing as a society. The society is collapsing. Eventually, there ain't gonna be a society. It's gonna be a free for all. Y'all just get prepared. Y'all stay safe. Y'all get prepared. I don't know what to say anymore. Okay, I've tried to just have common sense, but shit's hitting the fan. In the big cities, shit's gonna hit the fan. I'm sorry to tell you guys like this. I don't usually talk about politics like this badly, but shit's hitting the fan. They're removing our history. They're destroying private property. They're destroying private businesses. They're trying to get rid of everything that people have fought for, died for. My family was in the military, so it makes me sick to my stomach. That's what makes me sick. If people are stomping on the flag, they can do it legally, but it's their prerogative. They want to stamp on the American flag, but what they don't realize is, at the end of the day, people have died for that flag, and millions of people in the Army and the military and the Navy and in the Marines, they died to fight for that fucking flag. That's where these Democrats, the liberals, not all Democrats, but they don't realize that they're creating their own communism by doing what they're doing. And they don't see it. They just see that, oh, this guy's a racist because he's white. This guy's a racist because he's talking about Republicans. This guy's racist because he's living. This guy's racist because he's breathing. See, this is the problem. A true racist wouldn't talk about these problems. They would just be racist. Anyways, guys, be prepared. Have a few months' supply of water, food, and medications until all the shit blows over. Because if this was civil war, people will be looting and rioting. Shit will hit the fan, okay? I just want you guys to be safe out there, regardless of the situation. Try to be safe out there. Okay? But eventually, shit's gonna hit the fucking fan, man. Especially with nobody having no money because of the COVID-19. And shit's gonna hit the fucking fan. Enjoy yourself while you can. And just be happy with what you have. Because eventually, you're not going to have those luxuries no more. Watch the movie Demolition Man. And watch the movie Idiocracy. And you'll see what I'm saying.